Hello, welcome to our Job the STEM podcast. We've reached the 20th episode before 2020, and the upcoming one is going to be a special one as well. We're introducing an organization. I've had the pleasure to share a conversation with Dr. Jennifer Perusini, the CEO and founder of Neurovation Labs. Closely connected to the research he's been carrying out, she co-founded the PTSD Recovery Foundation of America. PTSD stands for Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. This is a non-profit charity with a mission to facilitate the discovery of a PTSD cure by 2025 while easing the burden today. So I'll let Jen continue from now on and tell you guys more about it. So let's jump right into the episode. You're all involved in neuroscience?
Yes, I am. I went to undergrad to study neuroscience. I did my PhD at UCLA, and I focused on, trying to build and understand a model of PTSD in rodents. So that led me to then forming my biotech company back in 2016, Neurovation Labs. And, things are going really well. We're making a ton of great progress. We're developing the first subjective diagnostic and companion targeted medication for PTSD. But of course, those types of things, drug development and translating research to the clinic don't happen overnight. And I want to make an impact now. So I recently just co-founded this nonprofit, PTSD Recovery Foundation of America.
Your work especially focuses on developing new pharmaceuticals for treating PTSD or looking at a molecular level how it impacts people who are diagnosed with it?
Right. So my biotech company, they're two separate things. So my biotech company, Neurovation Labs, yes, we are in the drug development space. We are developing a diagnostic. So basically a PET scan. We've developed a tracer that's now being optimized to basically visualize a biomarker that I found while doing my PhD. And at the same time, we're developing a small molecule drug to then bind to the same biomarker, bring it back down to normal levels, and reverse the symptoms. The nonprofit, however, yes, we do plan to fund meaningful scientific research, but at the same time, we plan to host a number of programs that really ease the burden today, right? Things like yoga and wellness, self-defense, even legal counseling for those with PTSD. And it is, again, separate from my biotech, but I feel like while our products are being developed, people should be suffering in the meantime.
I read that there have been therapies available, cognitive behavior therapy, exposure therapy, but what you're doing is so crucial because there should be more narrowed down specific target approach to have better results overall.
Right, exactly. If we can make mental health and mental illness physical, we can diagnose mental illness, psychiatric disease with the same precision as we can cancer. So that's really our ultimate goal.
You're sharing such valuable information, but for someone who hasn't heard about PTSD, could you expand on the disease a little bit, just a bit of a background, and why it's so important to work on it as a nonprofit initiative?
Right. So PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is a disorder that develops in some people who have experienced a traumatic event, a dangerous event. Normally we do have fearful responses to scary things. That's adaptive. But when this fear is long-lasting and really intrudes with daily life functioning, that's when we need to intervene. And it's really a huge problem. It's really a crisis and an epidemic, especially in America. Almost 10% of people suffer from PTSD, and this number could be way off because we don't have the proper diagnostics yet. Everything's just symptom checklists. So that's really why we're trying to develop an objective diagnostic to say, yes, this person has PTSD, now we can treat them properly.
You mentioned that the numbers are especially high in the U.S. I guess it's related to military veterans who've experienced combat fatigue. If you think about Iraq or Afghanistan, is it related to them especially?
Absolutely. I mean, the veteran population is huge. The military population, active duty, definitely a population we plan on treating. But it's even more than that. It's natural disasters. It's abuse victims. Women actually have an especially high rate of PTSD. That's double what we see in men. So it's really a far-reaching disorder.
I see. So you say that women are more likely to develop PTSD, so that could be traced back to sexual violence, or maybe they have like a heightened response when someone touches them.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Also, an interesting part, and it's more related to the design. Interested to hear about. There's in the logo a mountaintop and a sun behind it. Is there an additional meaning to it?
Wow, that's so funny that you noticed that, because we were spending a while trying to design the logo. The mountain to me really represents, overcoming something really difficult. But as you notice, there's a sun, and things at the top seem so much more clear. So really, just overcoming your burdens and overcoming something difficult is really what the mountains represent.
That's so important. Reaching the top, getting to the results that you want to achieve. And it's so crucial to, as you've expanded upon in the introduction I've read about the organization, that you want to end PTSD stigma in society and break down those mental health barriers. What are the practical steps you would like to take as an organization to spread and transmit this message?
Well, I think I'm well positioned as a scientist. I think that something that I've noticed is that there's really a disconnect between the government funding these initiatives, the scientists in academic labs, biotech companies, and really the media. And there's no crosstalk. And I think that I'm well positioned as a scientist who has been in academia and is now in the business world to really convey my knowledge and make it easy to understand to the general public. And so that's something that we hope to accomplish in part with our nonprofit organization, really breaking down the stigma and not being afraid to seek treatment or to talk about the problems. And, we want to start to think about mental health as something that's physical. You would never be embarrassed to say that you have a cold or, a broken arm. I want it to be the same saying, I have depression or I have PTSD. I think, we're really, as an organization with our events and our programs, are going to really try hard to break down those walls.
Great that you focus on that, and that is the mission of the organization, because if we overlook the history of psychology, for many years they just treated the surface symptoms but did not go down to the root issue. And of course, with many psychological disorders, you have to do that to really go to the cause. Also, that it increases the credibility of your organization, that biotech entrepreneurs, medical philanthropists, and scientists, as yourself, have founded this organization.
Right, exactly. Just bringing all that expertise together, I think, is really meaningful to our mission.
We've defined the mission, but I'm interested to hear that how can one get involved in the organization? How can they support it?
Well, contributions right now aren't valuable to us. We are very new, but all proceeds will go to our PTSD programs. We do plan to start these workshops and programs in early 2020, and at the same time, we're going to start to plan some fun fundraising events. And we are based in New York, but we do plan to expand across the U.S. over the next 12 months. And we're also open to new ideas. So if anyone would like to get involved or make a suggestion for either the PTSD programs or the fundraising events, you can head to our website, which is www.ptsdrecoveryfdn.org, and you can fill out the form. We check it daily. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've read that even one can run a race or start a fundraiser in their local area. You have to act local and think global, so that's a great message.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah, that's great.
It just popped in my head as we've continued our conversation, but a lot of young innovators listen to this podcast. They can be inspired by you. So what is one message that you would like to give them?
I think that if you want to pursue an idea that you're really passionate about, never give up. It's always darkest before dawn. That is something that someone once told me, and it's true. I've been now out of academia and in the entrepreneur world for about 4 years, and it can sometimes be daunting, but I'm so happy that I've never given up, because I think things are really starting to pay off, and I think that my ideas are really going to make an impact soon.
Yeah, oh, that's so good. Just thinking about the big picture and not being discouraged if you face a roadblock or hit a roadblock. Growth never follows a linear curve, so you gotta have hope to continue pouring into the STEM fields.
Absolutely. You can't let one person get you down. You know, we hear a lot of no's, but it just takes one yes to get things off the ground.
That's so true. Thank you for expanding on the organization and the work you do. I will provide every link that is available if someone wants to support the organization. And I firmly believe it will produce a positive impact in the future. And I'm cheering you guys on.
Thank you so much.
I hope you've been inspired by this episode to reach out and pour into helping others any way you possibly can. Check out the PTSD Foundation website. A great step in showing your support is also going to Insta and clicking on that follow button. You can find all the handles and link goodies in the bio, or if you are watching on YouTube, because we have the visuals, in the description box down below. As always, thank you for taking a few moments of science with us.